Welcome to Film Study, an All-American Universe podcast with Lexi. I'm Lexi. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, rate the podcast 5 stars. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. All of these amazing things that you do. So in the first part of this, you heard me and Kaya talking about sort of just our general thoughts about the episode, and Laura and Spencer and Patience. And now we're getting into everything having to deal with Jordan Baker, what he went through in this episode. And yes, all of the great things with Jordala too. So here it is. Hope that you enjoy it. So Laura and her son, Jordan and these voids, holes, and spaces. Which is this the first time that Michael has gotten to?
Yes, girl, I heard his voice in the beginning.
I was just like, I don't remember us ever. I mean, like, even a voiceover. I don't remember us ever getting a voiceover with Jordan.
I don't think so, because this stood out so much to me.
It did. I'm like, I'm not used to hearing Michael's voice over in the sky like
yes, this. No face to go with it, but I know that voice. Talk to me. Come on, Jor.
No. Come on, Jor. Talk to us. And he starts by saying there's a million things that my dad was that I'm not. And there was like a million things that he did, and he was just like, and there's a million things that he's doing, and he has to, because he's scared that, like, if he doesn't, everything that his dad was a part of would crumble unless he was there to fix what's broken, which is so sad.
My heart broke for him.
I was just in the top, he's trying to fix the refrigerator, and Layla comes down and get at 3 a.m.
Yes.
Get at 3 a.m. Like I said, Layla hasn't been getting sleep. Patience has no excuse whatsoever.
Listen here. Either because this is their prime time to be going back at it once again. Girl, look what time it is.
Shut up! I hate you so much.
Once a day, I tell you, once a day.
I dislike you so much for turning this sentimental to the sentimental moment.
Don't worry, I'm going right back. Okay.
Anyway,
here, it's 3:00 in the morning, which means either this was their prime time to be going back at it once again, for him to be coming down to get water, and they weren't doing it, and she was waiting, and she was like, "Dad, where he at?" Or homegirl reach over for her man. This is what I'm sold on, because they didn't give it to me last week when I thought when Liv Girl walked up in there, she would have been going out the bed. Homegirl would have reached over for her man and didn't feel him there. And she said, "Where is he?" He went downstairs.
I think that's what happened.
No, I'm sold on that's what happened, girl. In my mind, that is, in my heart, that is what happened, because they didn't give it to me when I wanted it last week.
Now because I didn't think anything else until you just brought it up.
It was a joke. I was joking, y'all. I'm not serious.
Now look, like 20 Twitter threads is going to be started. Wait, what if Layla was looking for
that? She said, "Babe, it's supposed to be round 3. Where are you?" I was so
anyway.
No, but seriously, she reached over.
Don't even got time to get into the gist. The meat of their conversation. But one thing that I loved about this conversation where she's trying to help Jordan is that she was just like, what did she say to him? She was like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "Hey, what's happening?" And then he starts to talk about the refrigerator.
Yes.
And she says, "Yeah, I wasn't talking about that."
Wait, no, it was the "Can you talk to me?" Yeah.
Literally. But for me, it was I wasn't asking about that. Oh my, just point blank direct.
All together. I'm not talking about the fridge. Can you talk to me? Yo.
Oh my goodness.
Stop. How sure
and it's
she
like
is
that
of
with
herself.
The hey. Exactly. It was like the hey, I wasn't asking about the friend.
Oh my, it's
You
so
text me.
sweet. It was the sweetest thing ever.
And it's like it's like those small but huge things that let us know, like, man, this is like they are each other's people. Like
Girl,
that is your
did
person.
you see when he hands her the to-do list and
First of all, that moment, like, I have you seen that slowed down? Have you seen the gif of that when he hands her the paper?
I've watched it like 30 times.
Oh, I was just like, are you still on the line? I can't. I was like, Kaya, are you still with us? Come in. I'm kidding.
Colin Kaya.
So no, but like that moment where he just is like resigned and hands it over to her, I kid you not, I texted someone that gif and I was just like married.
Rent free in my
Just
mind. This
married.
whole scene lives rent free in my mind because he's just
Literally.
sitting there. Homegirl's looking over the list. Did you see the way though when she was like, "Oh, what is this?" or whatever, and his hand
Mm-hmm.
was resting on her leg, and we get the little finger rub on her leg.
I love the finger rub, and then
Stop.
when they hold hands at
Did it
the end,
again.
the
They
finger rub.
did
She
it
loves to rub that
again.
man's
Oh my
fingers.
gosh. I lived for this whole scene with them sitting in the silence, him just expressing how he feels about like his dad's to-do list. Also, because I'm like, think how my man's going through all this and he don't even know his daddy sucked at repairing things.
Thank
Like
you. Oh, because we're gonna get to
they
that. We're gonna
stressing
get to
him
that
out. Like
when we talk about his conversation with Laura. We're gonna get to that.
no, but she said, I don't even care. I'm gonna be here.
I'm gonna be
I'm gonna be there too with y'all.
so. Jordan meets with AD Barnes, and I think that Barnes had called the meeting with both of them. We already talked about Spencer not talking to him, but you know when Spencer leaves and he's just like, I, you know, Barnes is just like, oh, it always takes a Baker man to save the day. Ends up sort of tricking him into this press conference where he says that Billy had accepted the head coach position and that like the NCAA compliance committee needed to, be gentle because they were trying to honor Billy's legacy through the players. And so I was just like, so then we get a conversation where Jordan is like pissed and you can tell he's shocked at the conference. And I was like, is this the first time that we've gotten Jordan having a conversation with Kenny? Like,
On his own?
ever? You know what I mean? Like, solo?
Yeah.
I was just like, oh wow. It was so foreign to my eyes to see Jordan and Kenny having a conversation. But Jordan ends up like Jordan ends up asking Kenny's advice about what to do about Barnes because he just sort of played him. And Kenny's just like, yeah, I can't tell you what to do. But, this is then Kenny sort of just starts talking about like what GAU football is to him. And I'm going to pause right here. Another one of my sayings I
Put a
just know
nail
that
in
you're
it.
just, I do. I know that's one of my sayings that I say all the
Yeah,
time.
you have a lot.
But okay.
Don't worry, I love them all. Can we talk about
Shut up. It's so annoying.
also
Stop bullying me on my podcast. Anyway, I think it's so interesting that whenever Jordan asks for advice, he's always told to go it alone by like the men in his life. Like whenever he asks for advice. Every single time. And I pointed out that constantly with like whenever he would go to Billy and Billy was just like, well, you have to make these decisions on your own. But any other guy on the show asks for advice, they're always giving advice, and this is just something that bugs me. But honestly, it's just become a part of his character story now that he's always been somebody that has to just like figure it out as he goes, because nobody is ever going to get the answer to him or give him advice or whatever. And I'm not saying he never gets advice, but what I'm saying is like Jordan from season 1 has always sort of had to forge his own path and sort of figure out independently where it is he has to go, even if that's like independently him finding somebody else, like he found Willie in season 1 to coach him because his dad didn't give him that time and attention. And so just the fact that we're coming back to that, and Kitty's like, yeah, I'm not gonna give you advice, but this is what GA needs to be.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is just the story of Jordan's life, because I think put Asher or Spencer in that situation and they probably would have gotten some advice, to be honest with you. But anyway, Jordan has this conversation with Liv, and Liv tells Jordan that he doesn't have to fix the fridge exactly.
But
And Jordan's talking about not wanting to exploit their pain, or put the nail in GAU's coffin because of this meeting that's coming up with A.D. Barnes and the committee. Is he going to go along with this thing about his dad? And Liv tells Jordan to reach out to Spencer for advice. What did you think about Liv telling Jordan to reach out to Spencer for advice, even though Jordan said he's respecting Spencer's space?
I feel like it reminded me of what is it? Oh, your episode 3-6, girl. When when she's in the kitchen with Layla girl, and she was
Yeah,
telling her like, oh, Spencer went to the cabin or whatever because he had to clear his mind, and then like get the boxes, yada yada, um, and then Liv, oh, because he also wanted to be alone, and Liv was telling her how, yeah, but do you think that's a good idea for him to be alone because it's the first time that he's been there since Corey died, basically. That's
yeah,
exactly what this reminded me of here because Jor was just like, he wants his space. He's trying to respect the space that Spencer's like so clearly wants right now. Um, and Liv Girl was just like, yeah, but it doesn't hurt to check on him because she knows he's struggling. So I feel like her telling him to reach out to like for advice or whatever to talk to Spencer, yeah, to see like what he thinks of the whole situation. But she also knows that Spence needs it as well. They both lost Billy, who was a dad to both of them. You know, so I
yeah,
think to her, it's him reaching out so that way it's benefiting both him and Spencer in a way to see if there's any way that he can try to pull Spencer out of this darkness that she clearly knows Spencer is going through, and that's why he's shutting people out. Because I feel like Liv like sees what Spencer's doing and that he's doing all these things. He's acting out. He's shutting everyone out of his life at this point. But she's not trying to overstep or reach out too much right now, especially because they still have to talk about like what they're going through. But I feel like since Jor's going through his issues with A.D. Barnes and Coach Kenny and that's something that also relates to Spencer that she thinks it would be a good idea for him to reach out so that way they can like start to try to help Spencer out because she clearly knows and sees that he needs it.
yeah. No, wonderful. No notes. No notes. 10 out of 10.
It's so annoying.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I did leave this episode saying that this makes a lot of sense for Liv. Like this makes so much sense for Liv to be concerned about Spencer. I saw a couple of people questioning this, and I'm like, this is who Liv is. Like, why are you shocked? To your point, we've been getting this for a while. She is always go back in history, and she is always going to be wondering how Spencer is dealing with things, and this is all the way back to season 1. So this was completely like within character for her to do, and makes a lot of sense because they do know that like and the funny thing is, it's just like I don't know why people are all of a sudden trying to act like Spencer and Billy weren't the like closest relationship on the show in terms of like Spencer's relationships. Obviously there's an argument to be made about Liv, but there's really like from day one Spencer and Billy have had this relationship, to your point, where it's just like he was a father to him. He was a
That's
father to
his
him. And so
daddy.
him And that's what I'm saying. Like, why are we acting like their relationship? I mean, some people. Why are some people acting like their relationship wasn't what it was? Like, we're going to give their relationship the due honor and respect, and that is why he's acting out in this way. Is because he had this deep relationship with Billy, and I think Spencer, all of the Bakers understand, right? It was a joke at his birthday, right? Like, the real love of his life, Spencer James. Like, that is like, it was
Look,
said for
yeah.
a reason.
And also because like his Corey, I was gonna say his real dad. I mean Billy's his real dad too. But like with Corey, he left when Spencer was young, and then eventually, like Spencer was grown basically by the time he came back into his life, and then didn't even get to have him for that long before he died again. Whereas like his relationship with Billy, he met this man.
Was so nuanced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he met this man when he was basically becoming an adult, you know? This man really helped him, moved him into his home, like did so much for him, and was that father figure that he never had growing up since Corey had left him. So to lose that in someone who you built that connection with, a connection you've always wanted, nah, man's is broken.
And the thing is like with that too, I said this, I want to say it was like season 3 or something. But because everything was so on the extremes with Corey, like he was extremely mad about him, right? I'm angry, I'm not gonna yell, but he was just like, I'm angry, I'm angry. Um, and to go from that anger at his father to meeting his father and then sort of just like idolizing his father because his father was sick, he never got to live in that in between space
Mm-hmm.
because of that short amount of time that they had together. But with Billy, he knew those nuances of who Billy was, right? Like, he was there in the trenches. He was the first one to find out about the affair. Like, things like that. He was the first, all the way back to their, if you needed to use me, just say that. I didn't need to hear all that about the NFL, blah, blah, blah. You can get me to the NFL. Just tell me and I'll do it. But, I'm just trying to make it. And so they've gone on this journey together, or they had gone on this journey together where Billy also really grew up with Spencer and really became the man that he is today. And Spencer got to watch that. And again, so he knows the nuances of this man, which makes it just a more sort of deeply impactful relationship. And again, like all of it, why are we talking about this during Jordan and Liv's conversation? Because they know this too. They know this
Facts.
too. Um, and so of course they're going to be concerned about him. And they love Spencer. Like, come, be for real, they love Spencer. um so Jordan and Liv have this conversation. The one thing that I do think, and I'm glad that Olivia ended up calling him at the end of the episode, is that I don't think Liv understood how distant Spencer has been, because with her, and I mean, she knows him, like she knows him, and she knows that he's not grieving and all of that. But he was not showing who he's been lately to her in the last episode. So I think it was so important for her to call him and for him to ignore that call, for her to sort of understand more deeply what Jordan was saying when he said, like, I need to give Spencer his space. Because I don't think, she was saying this, and I think it was good for her to say, but I also think she didn't realize, like, just how odd Spencer's behavior has been.
I didn't feel like she knew the full extent of like how much he's been shutting people out basically, or how much he's been shutting down. But I think it's also because they've all been struggling in their own ways, and because he's been basically putting on
Right.
this front the whole time. I'm also realizing I was like, I had said a lot of this, but the thing isn't even out yet. That's why I'm also realizing because they
Welcome back,
they
Kaya CTV.
they they've been struggling. So I feel like for her, she's seen how he's been trying to be there, but she also knows, like she knows the relationship he had with Billy and that he misses Billy and stuff like that, and that he's hurting from losing him. But I think because he's been putting on this front when trying to be there for her mom and him and Jor in a way, she hasn't fully seen what's been going on outside of when he's not with them, you know, especially because he got this other girl over here. So she's also just not trying to butt too much into his life. Just like last week when she didn't call him, you know, when she was struggling because,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like it's just, she knows, but I feel like now, especially towards the end, she's really starting to see what's really going on with him and that something
Yeah,
needs to
definitely.
happen immediately.
Definitely. I think she and Jordan had already known from like uh I think experiencing it personally, but I think when Jordan went to that kickback and really saw, was really like,
He
oh,
said,
this
"Who
man is
is this?"
entirely tripping. Literally. So they both sort of got on this journey of understanding just how deeply Spencer is ignoring his grief and like to the extent that it goes. And again, we'll talk about that when we get to predictions. So, you know what I loved? Oh, and then, you know, Jordan has this situation where he's blowing up Spencer's phone, like I said, and they understand that. Um, you know what I loved about these next two conversations? And this is part of the reason why I've rated the episode so highly. We are telling the truth about Billy Baker because there's been a lot of conjecture. There's been a lot of conjecture in the last couple of episodes.
The energy. Yo. Oh my god.
Conjecture, not facts.
Get her
I gotta
right.
bring out my sports fan voice. This is stuff that Ravens fan. There's just like there's conjecture and there's facts.
Oh my gosh.
But thank you, Laura. Thank you, Laura. And when is the last time we got a Jordan and Laura conversation?
Seriously.
But thank you, Laura, for saying, you know, Billy could not fix things. And we know this. We knew this from the jump.
I saw my man down there. I said, why are they doing this to him? Like
exactly. I don't know. It also shades, and I thought that they might touch on that this episode, and they did, like they brushed it, but I'm really hoping that Jordan goes through this process, and I'm glad that he, you know, at the end of the episode, we'll go to that, talks about how his dad would be proud, but that he didn't really like know his father, because, you know, when, you know, back to that relationship between Billy and Spencer, I mean, it is what it is. And then from the beginning, right, like football was Jordan's way of getting close to his dad, so I really think that they need to address this. But I'm like, how does Jordan not know his dad can't fix nothing?
you know what, okay.
I'm like but it's kind of like Liv. I'll give him the credit. Let me, before you even start, I'll give him the credit, because what did Liv say back in one of my faves, my tops? She was just like, "Oh, don't worry, my dad's gonna fix that." No, he ain't.
Yo, I was thinking in the beginning, I was like, yo, why are they doing this to my man? But then it dawned on me, I was like, wait, because, you know, yeah, him and his dad, he didn't know everything about his dad, but this just proves that he's just like his daddy. Like,
literally, yeah, that too. And that's what Laura said.
Like, he can't fix things, you know? So, yeah, you probably didn't know everything about
Jordan,
him.
stop fiddling with that table, bro.
He was going to keep trying until he got it to make his daddy proud, man. And he was already making him proud by failing.
That table and that refrigerator, that was the sink all freaking over again. That was the AC unit. Like, come on, man.
Wait, you know what I loved? When he was having the combo with Liv in the kitchen. and he thought he fixed the fridge.
Literally.
Liz went and put his head to it. As she's still talking, he went and put his head to the fridge. He go and put his little hand on it with a little smile on his face.
No, he was just like, yes.
And she was,
so
it was
proud.
Liv with the impressive. I'm like, bruh, she don't even care.
Literally. that, like, they don't, that's the thing, they don't care, right? Like, and Laura being like, oh, the fridge is leaking. Oh, I thought I fixed that. She was like, boy, bye. She was just like, oh, you are your father.
Daddy's
son. She was just like, you're grieving your dad, but I forget how much you are like him. But, you know, the nothing mattered more, and nothing was more your dad's legacy than you and Liv. And he wouldn't want you to he wouldn't want us to hold on to anything that might hold us back. And then she realized that was advice for her too. And I love that they let the women in his life, I'm just kind of noticing this thread, they're letting the women in his life know that it's okay to forge his own path with Liv, with Laura, and then his wife. His wife.
That's his wifey.
His wifey for real.
Oh my gosh.
And here's the thing. You think I was hype about Laura telling the truth about Billy? Look, first of all, let's get to this. This is such a long conversation, but I don't care. Let's get to this. Layla again telling this man, what about your way?
Yes.
How do you feel? What
do you want?
Girl!
Yo, I said, come on.
The questions. No, the line of questions. Tell me. You know what that reminded me of? Tell me, Layla. Tell me you don't feel. What about what you want?
What do you want? What's the legacy, boo? I said,
girl.
Stop. How do you feel? Let him know, girl.
Oh my goodness. 3 questions. What about your way? How you feel? What you exactly encourage this black man, man.
Lift your man up.
Woo!
Listen, Rihanna, I cannot.
No. I want to put a Clifton lift me up in this so bad. But look, oh my goodness, man. Whew. Layla Keating coming through because, girl,
he was so calm with it and relaxed. Like, oh my gosh, the confidence.
The way he was looking at her.
Yeah.
The way he was looking at her. And honestly, I gotta say, and it's just because it's like, yes, it's Layla, but I'm just like, it could be, and I'm not saying it could be anyone, but for me in this story, it's like I'm so happy to see someone believing in Jordan in this way. That's not his mom, that's not Liv. Because like I said, I was just like, Jordan, throughout the series, has gone to people begging them to believe in him. And the ease with which Layla does it is just like crazy. Like, I'm like, do y'all realize this man has been searching for this since the
whole time? Like, he never had it. He has never had it.
Literally. And so to see someone saying these words to him, like, we always give Jordan shine for how he handles Layla and how he treats Layla and all of the wonderful things he does, and like rightly so. But this being Jordan's his chance at an A storyline, the primary storyline, and to see her just continually, and just through this whole this whole grief series thus far, be in his corner and like reiterating that he knows the way, and that what is the Jordan Baker way?
The Jordan Baker way. That's the only way. Oh my gosh.
The smile when she said the Jordan Baker way. And here's the thing. Before she said the Jordan Baker way, this is what I was also excited about. She was just like, and first of all, can we get finally there was a nod to their relationship, to Layla and Billy's relationship, when she said, I used to come to your dad a lot. Even when my father was
daddy was here. And she said, forget this one. I'm going to go to my real daddy.
Literally. And because I personally, I have been begging, when are we going to get a nod to this relationship? Because we know it exists. And she said, I would go to your father even when my dad was in town and, ask him advice, or when I was there, and he would just like, and then, Jordan says, and he would always give you the right advice. And she said, no, he wouldn't.
No.
And I said, I had to stand up for this. I said, exactly, Layla, tell the truth and shame the devil.
Yo, what?
Look, that's an old Pentecostal saying. That's that grandfather coming out in me.
I know for a fact it is.
Tell the truth
Oh
and shame the devil. Exactly. He didn't always know.
look, I told you.
But he listened. But he listened. And that is what we know of Billy Baker. And I'm just like, finally, we're not hearing these puff pieces about who Billy was.
Look here.
And, you know, there was a place in town for the puff pieces. But I'm just like, I'm so glad that we're now in the point of the grief story where they're being honest about Billy's, you know, that he wasn't a superhero, that he wasn't perfect, that he wasn't this like all-star dude. Like, he was cool
At times.
at times. But let's not pretend this man was Superman, okay? Let's not pretend this man was Superman. And so her saying he didn't always know. And I think also Jordan needed to hear that, and not just to hear that, but be reminded of that, because Jordan reminded me a lot of Spencer in relation to Corey and like holding him on this pedestal right after he died. And so he needed to hear like, you don't know your dad, as you know, and I'm sure you'll be reminded, your dad did not always have the answer, but he was always there to listen to whatever the problem was, and then let me figure it out. Let us figure it out. And she said us collectively, number one. Let us figure out it on our own. Trust that we knew what to do.
She's a child of theirs too.
And so, uh, uh, preach. So
Yo.
then she goes on to say, you know, so do it your way, the Jordan Baker way. You are the girl.
She said,
And she didn't. Here's the thing. She didn't even know. She didn't even know that Laura had said this to him earlier. Can we? Oh my freaking! I'm sorry, y'all go get this extended conversation because she didn't even know, Kaya, that. Yo, the level of soulmateism that is.
I'm lost. Wait, no lie, when she said, "What's the legacy?" I was like, "It's you, girl. It's a life with you. Yeah, everything else is gonna be good." But my man is so lost in who she is and who she is to him. I couldn't take it. This whole combo just my heart.
And me just staring at these words, like, that man needed to hear that. Like, he needed to hear that. And it's so funny because it's just like her being the last conversation he had before he went, obviously. Then he goes, I'm going to get back to the end of his story before I get back to there. I love you. He goes and he talks to the team, and then he organizes this whole thing, and he's a leader. And I'm so glad Deadline brought this up. I forget who the interviewer was, but they were talking to Michael. And I love this question from them, but they sort of had this statement before the question, and they said, I loved that both Billy and Spencer have been trying to get Kenny the head coaching position. Neither of them were successful. And what did it mean to have Jordan be the person that actually got Kenny the head coaching job? And I was just like, once again, if you've been following this story from the beginning, how special is it that Jordan is stepping into being a leader? He's always questioned his own leadership capabilities. And so for the end to come and recognize that he himself is a leader and doing it in his own way and getting the guys on the team to make the videos, was honest, keeping AD Barnes honest and saying, like, this is it, like, we're making our own legacy, you can take it or not, but these videos finna go out. And getting Kenny that head coaching job meant so much. Meant so much. So what did you think about Jordan being a leader? Then we'll jump back to the I love yous.
I liked it because I feel like Mans has struggled a lot in the past with that. I mean, just look at last season when he was just talking about, oh, but it's Wade's team. You know, I feel like there's so many times where he doubts himself and his worth and his value.
To live, right? Like, why don't you see me as great?
Yeah, that, you know, it's like there's so many times where Mans just doubts who he is. and what he can bring and what he offers to people and just in life in general. I think a lot of that has to you look. I'm telling you, don't talk bad about the dead. A lot of that has to do with Billy, you know. So
it does. It does. No, we're telling, and that's what I'm saying. Like, we need to tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Live the
truth. Live the truth. I thought you was gonna say tell the truth and shame the devil, like I just said. No. You said.
Yeah, so I feel like this was a great moment, and I'm so happy it came in this episode. I feel like this was a great moment to see that shift for him, and for him to start to take control of his own life, of his own worth, and just knowing what it is he has to offer, and just being confident in that, you know, and sitting comfortably in that for himself. So I loved it.
Confident for himself, and also just that he has someone that is constantly reminding him to be himself. Like, I think that's so important. I think that's
I mean, we've been saying since season 4, this girl literally, she built her man up, y'all. Like,
she did. I mean, like, I'm so, like, we gotta give
his word.
We gotta give her a prop, because, like, no, seriously, we have been watching this man struggle, to your point, for 4 seasons. And this is in the midst of, like, him getting his relationship with his dad kind of sort of on track. Like, obviously, Laura being in his corner, obviously Liv being there, but Liv, you know, after she got with Spencer, was, you know, very, you know, focused on that. And I'm not even going to get into the Simone of it all, but, like, just look. She loves this man. She loves this. I mean, obviously, I should say it, but and so to get back, that was a perfect transition. I even planned that. But look, first of all, you know, after she's encouraging this man, building this man up, like we said, he's just like, grabs her hand, kisses the hand.
The kiss on the hand.
The length of the kiss on the hand.
Your hand, man, had that hand so tight, yo.
Oh my god!
I could not. I don't even think I was prepared.
I said, I understand, Layla. I understand. Like, I can't lie. No. I get it.
Oh my gosh!
So he was just like, "What if my way conflicts with a prior engagement?"
The look on his face, yo, it took me back. You know my look. Ooh. You know my look from 420.
I know. Look, this was so 420 reminiscent, bro. I was thinking this.
You gave me my look. I said, quit it. Don't do it to me.
And look.
Hold on, no.
Just read again, hats off Rob, bro. Hats off Rob. You're ridiculous. Period. Go. Period.
Period.
I love you. Period.
I'm weak. I can't. No. You know, we have been going back and forth.
And hold up, who has, like I said, who has always leaned.
Yo, oh my gosh. I don't even know how long. It's been like 2 straight seasons of this. When are they going to say I love you? Who's going to say I love you first?
And I was just like, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be Layla.
No. I'm like, Lily, but I'm sticking with Joy. I feel like it's going to be Joy. No. Dag.
Honestly, back and forth.
We're like, we want it to be Layla, but...
But I've always leaned. I was just like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Jordan, but I feel like it's going to be Layla.
Oh my gosh.
And let's just talk about it.
Let's just sit here. Let's just sit here and talk about it. Let's open it up.
I already knew.
We are opening it up.
The way in which she just said it so casually, I don't want to let that.
No, we're not. We are not letting that
because
go.
it shows it shows that like she's been saying, like, in her head.
I literally said
she's
that.
been
She's been saying it nonstop in her mind, yo. So
the ease with which that thing came out. Look, I don't know. Art imitates life.
Yeah.
Art imitates life, and I'm not saying I accidentally called it on our first Jordala breakdown, but did I not accidentally say the guy in which I love, and then that ended up. Yeah. So you all have me to thank for that? No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. But the way, like, it's so, I honestly laughed.
Like, I could not.
It's what she's been saying, like, in her head.
But she was so settled into it because she's been living it this whole time. And I'm just like,
that part.
What? Yo, it's like, it wasn't.
You're ridiculous. Go.
Yo!
I love you.
So letting cute.
And the thing is just like, and now I'm going to put it in the context of, like, the I love yous in the show, not for comparison, but for context sake. Every I love you has been so grand. And I want to say, like, in the universe, like, in the whole entire All American universe, every I love you has been such a grand moment for people. And even for these characters, like, the times in the past where both Layla and Jordan have said, I love you, it takes effort for them to say it. It takes effort. Like, it's very, like, thought, like, they are making the decision, blah, 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 to say it. And they're putting a lot of effort into it. The way that this was effortless.
There was no question, no doubt about it.
It matters that it was effortless because it's like, of course I do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? Like, this is not even a question at this point. Like, it's not even something that needs to be acknowledged, but it was like something that doesn't even necessarily need to be acknowledged, is how it came out of her mouth.
Like, yeah, it's so crazy because it's like the surprise on her face, like the realization on her face. It wasn't even
what I said was the slow but the quick realization.
Yes, it wasn't even like a realization of, oh wait, like, did I really just say that, as if I didn't mean to say that, or do I want to take that back or something like that. It's like, I actually just put out there what I've been feeling this whole time, and now he knows because I've verbally spoken it out loud.
And the funny thing is, her immediate reaction,
that look sold me.
I'm gonna be a little actor nerd for a second.
Stop.
I'm gonna be a little actor nerd for a second.
Nah, we're going here.
We have these things called actor's impulse. Like, what's your impulse to do in the scene? Greta's impulse in that scene was perfect, because if you notice the very next thought, again, there's these things called beats, and that's basically when your thought shifts. Her first thought after the I love you was, I am content right now. It wasn't the realization, it was the I am content. The
realization didn't hit until her head turned.
Exactly. And so her first impulse was like, I love you. Oh, I love him. And then it was just like, wait. It was the wait.
Hold on. Her head was straight on the wait. And then it slowly starts to turn sideways on the tilt. And that's when that realization hit.
That impulse, man.
It was so smooth. Like, it played out so well and true.
So
I was
smooth.
Stuck. I said, girl, I'm sold. Like,
oh my gosh.
She ate every inch of that I love you.
Ate every single inch of it up, and then his reaction, which we had to cut to. And we're not even to the I love you.
No.
I'm sorry. This is about to be a 5-part series. Look.
Bruh.
His reaction to the I love you, just staring this girl down.
It was the way he stopped. Man,
stopped and turned.
He was walking out that door.
With a quickness, bruh.
As soon as the...
Because he was on a mission, right? What is your legacy? What do you want? Okay, I'm ready. You know what I just noticed, though? I was just like, Layla was low-key his coach in that moment. Like, and he was pumped up, ready for the game. For real. And he was just like, all right, coach, let me go do the thing.
For real, auntie.
Not Simone giving us our favorite quote. Jordan and Layla are together for real, auntie.
Yo, he was going out that door for real. He stopped in them tracks for real, auntie, for her. Yes, he did. Yo, man's turned so sharp and quick.
So quick. Man.
He was walking out on a mission. He came back to her with the quickness on a mission. I said, come on, Jor.
And that mission, let's just say this right now, makes sense that chalk and water, dude. Did you, I don't know if that was a written thing, a director thing. I mean, it's a combination of both, and a Michael thing. It was a combination of all three of those aspects, because why? Michael went so forcefully.
Yes,
that Greta literally grabbed her. Greta had to step back.
Yo, I said.
They were like, Jordan is feeling this moment. How can we show that Jordan is feeling this moment? And it showed. It showed. Yo, they did it.
Man has been waiting for this. Like, waiting. And for her to, like, to hear it come from her first, nah, he was gone.
What did Michael say? I think he was just like, since they've officially been together, he's been sort of ready to say it. Of course he has. Mm-hmm. Of course he has. And that was Michael saying it, and I'm like, I personally think he's been ready a little bit longer than that. But
season 4.
Season 4, 19. But so he's been waiting, and we saw that he was so ready to say it back. And hold on, because we're talking about Jordan's response and the kiss, and rightfully so. And then he says with just like such a quiet, like, earnestness, yes. like I am going to make you hear these words.
Before he even says it, though, it's the way he's still holding on to her head.
He stops and looks.
You are going to stay in place.
Girl.
You are staying right here, girl. Look at me in my eyes. You are not.
Because you gonna hear these words. You finna hear these words, girl.
Best believe you getting them right back. I said give them right back. Man stopped and he's staring at her. It's the slight smile on his face. Right before he says it, the little smile. Yo.
Him scanning her face before he says it.
Looked right back
her lips.
Up. Yes.
Girl.
Their lips. I said, oh my gosh. I am living.
And then the strong. I love you too.
Yes.
Oh!
Like it was. Oh my gosh!
It was giving. Describe your perfect girl.
You.
No hesitation.
Yes. What about me? Everything.
Oh! God, I see what you've done for others.
Yes, please show me. Where's my joy?
I've seen what you've done for others.
Yo, I could not take it. Oh my gosh. See, I used the freaking the little Lindsay Lohan thing from Parent Trap a while ago. No, we need it right now. We actually did it, y'all.
Like, bruh. And here's the thing. Because the second kiss, I was getting on Jordan in the first kiss. The second kiss, Layla.
No, she made sure she reached for her man's face. She had to get that little touching that she always does. The way she grabbed onto him, she grabbed his head on the second one, yo. I said, girl,
go look at that gift. That girl was not trying to let that man leave.
Oh my gosh.
And then the lip bite, the taste,
I told you that, Jory's the only one who gets the lip bite. That girl brought it back for him. She said, "Oh my, I love you is here."
Jor, look, Jor is the only one that
The
gets the
only
after
one.
reaction from Layla, bro. Like, the only one. Layla's eyes at Jordan,
Did you
number
see
one.
them? Did you see them? Girl,
Did you see them?
We're like, did you see them? We saw them many times.
I don't even know how long we've been talking about. Maybe it wasn't a good idea for you and I, because we just gonna keep going and going and going. There's nobody to draw us back. Did you? Whew.
Her eyes were glazed. Like, oh my gosh. I could not.
And then the look back, I was just like, well, here we go,
Yes.
Laura. I don't know, Jordan's gonna come.
He did not want to leave in that moment, but he had to go take care of his business.
I said, Laura, make yourself sparse tonight, because you're not finna want to see the water. You're not finna want to see the water.
You gotta go back to that couch, like. Go sleep on that.
Like, look, like maybe Spencer's spending the night at Crenshaw or whatever. Maybe y'all should just go to the beach house aside.
Everyone just go somewhere else. This is not the place to be tonight. If your name is not Joe or Layla, you should not be in the crib tonight.
You should not be in the crib. Side note on that. The amount of times they've talked about their sex life right now, and it's just like, so are we going to see?
Yo,
I mean, some of us sort of cared, and now it's just like, y'all just keep bringing it up. So now are we going to see it? Y'all keep talking about it. Y'all keep talking about it.
They're literally teasing right now. They are teasing everyone.
And the thing is, it's just like, I don't think any other person has had their sex, maybe besides Spencer and Grace's comments, but nobody else has had their sex life talked about this much in the span of this short a time.
Which is crazy, because they haven't had it talked about like that, but they've had theirs shown. Like,
literally. And that's what I'm saying. And I'm like, I mean, like, and even Grace's comments were just like, oh, well, being a parent, basically. And everybody, like, people's comments about Jordan and Layla, oh, yeah, they're active.
Like, this is a sport for them.
Oh, my goodness. And somebody was just like, they need to have some decorum. Did not Billy just die? Like, that literally means that, like,
they are very much top performers in the act of sex. Like,
it's just like, Billy died, we don't care.
Yo,
we still gonna get it in.
Look here.
That's that Kev on stage. That's like that how often Kev on stage talks about sex. Like, we still gonna get it in.
Business must go on as usual. Like, come on. He's dead. R.I.P.
Billy.
R.I.P. Papa Billy.
Literally.
Yeah, he would not want us to deprive ourselves out here. Like, why would he do that?
Not at all. He wants us to feel better.
Yes, like, he wants grandkids. They may not.
What did Jordan say? Today I made you proud, Dad. Today I made you proud.
Oh my god. Yo.
Oh my goodness, man.
Look, man.
We need to cut it out anyway. So that was a very great conversation. We now have the I love yous, which we knew was going to happen. And Jordan ended this episode on top. He ended this episode very much just like assured, like he was very assured. He was very assured, and he was very sure of himself. And like I said, You know, he even, what is it? You know, and they even, this is not even the end of the episode, because what did he do? Came back from strong arming Barnes, getting Kenny the coaching position. Still came back to talk to Layla about Patience's
a little creeper
situation that she got there, and someone noticed Jordan at the end talking to Liv.
Oh, when he was putting the camera
in a ring
in,
light.
you didn't see him putting in the camera.
A ring cam,
little camera thingy. I said my people downstairs got one of those. Yo, my man's. Literally, as he was over, I was like, "What is he doing?" He was over here screwing this thing. I loved it too, because when I was watching, I was like, they had him failing at the refrigerator at this table. A little rain cam is so easy to install. I'm like, nah, they gave my man the simplest thing to put in so he can make sure his woman is protected and patient. But he said
his woman and his family. Let's not forget his entire family. It was everybody. It was Laura. It was Liv. Yeah. It was Patience. It was Coop. And it was his woman. And it was his woman.
Look here, man. I said, yes, Jor. Got his little
he said, I'm the man of the house full of all of these
his
women.
Dad sweater on. I said, look at him.
Literally. I was just like,
he looks so cute out there.
It's not even a question, but I was just like, so they just know that's like the Jordan spinning the night clothes at this point, right? Like
I told you, he has a whole like section in that
He has
room.
a whole, yeah.
He has space in the closet. She has a
I was literally about to say she made space in the closet.
She got 2 dressers in there. One of them is
But
his.
let's not even lie. It's not just that he has space in the closet, it's that she made space in the closet.
It's their space. Like, I'm pretty sure he got a whole section on the sink in the bathroom. My man's, he lives there now. He no longer sleeps at the beach house.
Literally.
That he's back home where he belongs with his woman in their room.
I love how this was like, this is kind of sort of my fault, because I'm like, oh, we gonna talk about the I love you. Like,
he said they're gonna need the space at the beach house anyway, because Jamie about to have a baby. Sure, they can have his room.
So speaking of about to have the baby, let's get to
Girl, she's not having that baby.
Predictions.
That baby is not coming.
That is so rude. The casualness with which you said that was so rude. Girl, don't even play me. She not having that baby. I need you to be for real.
For real.
Be for real. This is just a phone call, y'all. I'm sorry. This is really our phone calls. I'm sorry that y'all had to endure all this. But we finally here. We finally do predictions. Thanks for listening to Film Study and All-American Universe podcast. And stay tuned for our predictions.